Breaking news, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu arriving at the Sheba Medical Center emergency room. His office updating the premier is in good condition and currently undergoing some medical evaluation. Reports suggest Netanyahu was at his Caesarea home when he felt unwell and arrived at the hospital independently by car with his convoy, of course, fully conscious. Netanyahu's personal doctor updating his condition is stable. For more, let's cross now live to I-24 News senior editor Guy Israel. Guy, what more can we say? What more do we know?
Hey, Ellie. The details are still sketchy. We'll just update our viewers with what we do know. As you said, he was taken to the Sheba Medical Center in Ramat Gan. It's in the center of Israel. And it should be noted that this medical center, Sheba, is not close to his home in Caesarea at all. There are other hospitals which are much nearer, and this is where he chose to be examined. We know he was evacuated with pain to his chest, and he's undergoing serious tests right now. We know that his wife, Sarah, his son, Avner, are with him at the hospital, as well as his personal doctor, Dr. Tzvi Berkovich. As always in these situations, privacy is important. He is undergoing those tests. The doctors are still trying to find out what was the reason for the fact that he felt pain in his chest, that he was not feeling well. His privacy is important. He is being treated in a private room in the hospital right now, and at the same time, transparency is also very important. Netanyahu is a serving prime minister, has a lot of responsibility in this country, and the people of Israel will want answer very soon about whether he can continue at least in these coming hours, at least as he's undergoing these tests, with his role, with his responsibilities. We know there are so many of them. We know that Netanyahu is not a young man. He's 74 years old. Today was a very hot day in Israel, temperatures over 30, and Netanyahu is having to deal with a lot of stress with his job in general and with the latest political drama in Israel in particular. And that certainly is not helping the well-being of a person of that age running a country. But the hospital will soon give us a statement, we hope, as to his condition and to what is being discovered so far. We know he's getting blood tests, cardiological tests as well, to find out whether he has any issues with his heart at this moment, and the information will come out very soon. We will remind our viewers that Netanyahu has already been admitted to a hospital just a year ago at the end of the Yom Kippur prayers. He was feeling pain in his chest back then as well, while sitting in a synagogue in the prayers. He was rushed to a hospital back then and was treated very quickly and was admitted back to his home. And this is happening again. Again, this is chest pain, and the doctors are trying to find out at these very moments what is wrong with Netanyahu and whether he will need to remain in hospital overnight to undergo more tests, to examine the severity of his condition right now.
Yeah, and Gaia, this incident you've mentioned almost a year ago during the Yom Kippur fast. It is important to note that Netanyahu, again, a 73-year-old man, was fasting at the time. And Guy, in this respect, you've mentioned who will be taking over responsibilities or who is. And last January, for example, Netanyahu underwent some scheduled gastro examination. Back then, he nominated in advance someone to take over while he was being examined by doctors. It was the leader of the Shas party, Aryeh Deri. At this point in time, according to the protocol, who is in charge while Netanyahu is undergoing these examinations?
We still need to find out who will be that person, of course, and we don't want to jump the ship This all brings flashbacks to Prime Minister Ariel Sharon, who died in 2014 after being in coma for 8 years after he collapsed during his term as a sitting prime minister. Back then, his deputy Ehud Olmert took over, and that was history because he went on to remain prime minister and being re-elected. I think the entire political spectrum is now on their feet. We also know that the head of the opposition, Yair Lapid, has just tweeted his best wishes to Netanyahu, wishing him good health, feel well. He writes on Twitter. We are all anxious to get information about the severity of Netanyahu's condition. We know that he walked on his 2 feet as he entered the hospital. He was taken there with his convoy, not via ambulance, but...
and according to the...
if a person of that age arrives at a hospital urgently, although they say he feels well, there is severity there.
And according to the latest updates from his personal doctor and the Prime Minister's team, he's fully conscious. Again, waiting, of course, official updates from the hospital there. Guys, Riella, senior editor, do stay with us. Thank you for that, of course, but stay with us. Ben-Dror Yamini, senior journalist at the Yediot Ahronot Daily, is joining us now. Thank you, Mr. Yamini, very much for joining us. As we've mentioned in the previous gastro examination Netanyahu underwent this past January, he nominated in advance someone to be in charge while he was being medically examined. This time around, according to the protocol, there is no intuitive go-to, correct?
Yeah, no, we do not have, but as long as he is conscious, actually there is no need. But it might happen every minute that he will need to actually to appoint somebody to replace him. That's one. But let's not forget the circumstances. And Israel is passing through one of the most toughest, I would say, crisis. I mean, and that's why he's under a lot of pressure. Everything is under his responsibility. And any normal man, even much younger, could experience something of the kind. It's a pressure. It's a pressure, and it's affecting his health. Needless to say, I mean, it's something that might happen to everyone. So we just have to hope that no decision will be decided because of the pressure. We just have to hope that. But it's not easy. The circumstances are terrible, and we do need a full-time job prime minister. Just what happened in the weekend, for example, when he said that he's going to give up on some Air Force squadrons. Come on. It's not something that a normal and healthy prime minister can say. Maybe this is just something which is pointing out that he is under pressure.
Immense pressure, no doubt. Yeah, and on the sidelines of this, Mr. Yamini, briefly before we let you go, the Medical Association is considering joining the strike. What do you make of it?
No, I don't think that there will be any impact because it's not personally against Benjamin Netanyahu. It's they are trying to have a kind of impact on the whole process.
Okay.
I'm not sure that. No, I'm not.
Yes, Mr. Yamini, we do need to thank you because we are getting an update from the Prime Minister's team as we speak, saying that the Prime Minister spent at the near the beach for many hours last night, yesterday, and this is perhaps the reason why he felt lightheaded. We will be bringing you all the latest updates.